Special shout out to Ephesia and Pickles. For one, Ephesia giving me the portable charger from Throngus, thank you very much. And Pickles because the mason jars and pickles must be contained. I very much agree. Thank you so very much. And if you'd like to be a person that also sends me something, then again, Throngus is in the description. Hello! It's been a long ass time since we did an artist appreciation. So let's actually start out with a banger artist, honestly, that's possibly, someone that you know, which is Mizuryu Kei. Now, obviously, you should know him from quite a few things, if you haven't already. One is definitely the fact that he comes up with really good Gentai. In fact, one of my favorite Gentai is ODLK Land, the one with the amusement park that ends up becoming an adult theme park, which sounds like a nice ass time because holy shit, that's really cool. But I'm not necessarily gonna lie, it would not necessarily be too much of a stretch to say that this man is absolutely legendary. Like, by far, possibly could be one of my favorite artists of all time, definitely, or at least in the top 10, I would say, when it comes down to things, because he definitely knows how to make Gentai content of something that is absolutely normal, right? So, for example, like making Yu-Gi-Oh! Into a smashing game, which is utterly crazy, because there's one doujin where essentially you have these people playing Yu-Gi-Oh! But instead of the monster cards being like Celtic Guardian or Elemental Hero Sparkman, nah, none of that shit. You have your female friend, she's the monster.
What?
I know, it's so strange, it's so weird, but it's so crazy to the point that it works, honestly. Again, this is the type of guy that will probably make a grocery store, a trip to the grocery store, possibly the most lewdest and most craziest thing you will ever effing see. He just knows how to make certain things work, especially when it's normal, when things aren't necessarily just crazy, just normally, and then just be like, yeah. But what if we added some sex here, and it just made it absolutely extraordinary? And that's something I can appreciate. Not many artists go out their way to be like, let's make an original concept and do something, maybe a little bit different from other people. Because a lot of people usually just draw like fan art of their favorite character, and there's nothing wrong with that. But at the very same time, it's also nice to see when the artist decides to do something original. And continuing, let's talk about the art itself. For me personally, the art feels like it's a mix of fantasy with it, also with a mix of, strangely enough, Shantae. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like that's what the mix is going for when it comes down to his art style. If we were to describe it in a way, he definitely uses a lot of shining effects, and honestly, the shining effects on the skin is very good here. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. If you want to be really impressive with your art, or at least to me, the things that can help you really get me to be excited for your work is definitely shiny skin. It's going to be like making the skin feel or look like somewhat realistic in the anime type art style, and then also at the very same time using the body in a way to make it soft and make it look like and feel like it's going to be soft if you were to actually touch something like that, much less the thickness in the shadows that kind of complements it as well. Those are some things that can definitely get me excited personally for somebody's art when it comes down to things. And sometimes there's a little bit too much shine on some of these characters, but honestly that's kind of also what makes the art and the character look a bit more different from your average person to draw these characters. But you know what else Mizuryu really got? Again, doujins, and tons of them. And as I previously mentioned before, the one with the card game is by far the wildest thing I've ever read, honestly. Like, you think the crazy stuff that you've seen in anime today is wild? You haven't seen nothing yet. Sure, 100 Girlfriends is a bit wild, and the mom is now trying to basically suck the penis of Rentaro, which, go get him, Rentaro. You did well. This damn doujin has nothing on anything else though. But you know who else don't have anything? You, because you don't have any of my merch just yet. So go ahead and get you something on sale with that $5 off of everything. Much less if you'd like to give me something, because I don't have really much enough for nothing. Then please do come through and get me something for the throne gifts if you would like to. Or if you just like to donate directly, Kofi has a thing that you can do as well. And also I'm going to add Cash App because why not? I don't really add Cash App like that, so I'm going to start back doing that again. So if you'd like to do that as well, then go ahead. And also, if you have your merch, please let me know on Twitter now too, because we're back. Just don't tell nobody. But yes, that's how essentially things are going to go. So go get you some stuff, or get me some stuff Who knows? But anyway, let me introduce you to the Dojin of Love Slave. Yes, that is literally the title of the damn thing. Essentially, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! But with females, and the females are your friends, and essentially you just do a lot of crazy stuff with it. So you be thinking, oh, you just attack normally like monster cards or your spell cards. Yes, you do have that. But again, the monsters is the females and the spell cards do wild and absolutely ridiculous things. Like for instance, for this game, you have to have a different mindset. Essentially, your life points is SP points, which is your seed points. Now you're probably wondering, what the hell is seed points? The amount of times that you bust. Literally. That is literally how you are determined to lose, honestly. Which is wild. And you're probably thinking, how does that happen? Well, when your monster or your love slave attacks a fellow master of said love slave, then you obviously will have a moment of attack, right? What type of attack will they do? Some wild things I really can't show on here, like face grinding or potentially a sucking off of something. It's a little wild when it comes down to things. So wild, in fact, that the main character of the tale of story, Yuto, ends up getting his sister involved in this because why not? When it comes down to things, the sister is also very horny and very crazy when it comes down to things. So much so that she can often be a different person. But let's just kind of give you the basic brief summary of what the hell's going on here. Yuto is a kid that basically lives with his sister, and essentially what happens is that he gets a gift from his mother that is, I guess, dead or like away or something, who essentially is like, here you go, your very own dual disc for Lust Slave. Go ahead and start using it and battling these bitches. And that's essentially what kind of happens. He ends up getting his sister involved. Basically, the different cards that's involved in the game doesn't just allow you to attack, but also let you dress up your love slave in whatever way they want to be dressed up in. Or at least whatever you want them to be looking like, essentially. Put them in a hot nurse outfit, that can happen. Put them in a very risque type of outfit, that also can happen. However, it can only happen if the love slave says accept to the idea, or they can't necessarily do it and be like deny the idea. You know, if they say deny, you basically lose that turn and your other opponent can attack you with his love slave in another wild and ass way. And honestly, in this game, it's almost like, why wouldn't I not want to get attacked though? Like, it feels like it's going to be a good time. And it is, honestly. That's the crazy part. And so crazy to the fact that when Yuto lost his, well, he won actually the first battle, but he kind of lost the war. When it comes down to things, when he ends up winning that battle, the next day he ends up going to find his sister in the house, only to find his very same opponent coming through trying to get up on his sister like that. Which is wild as hell. So he ends up telling him that, oh yeah, there's actually like a rule about this actually in the game. Essentially, there is a NTR system, and I can already see it. Heated ass comments just coming already. I don't want to read this bullshit. And I didn't want to read it either too, but it actually got a little bit better, honestly. When it comes down to things, essentially, you have this NCR system that essentially the love slave that basically can win that battle might go to the opponent, honestly. Which is a weird thing, but she might catch feelings for that opponent because she enjoys what she was doing with them, so it might end up becoming some nonsense. And the previous love slave could or stay with them, but at the very same time, the one that got defeated could also just dip off as well, and that's something that does end up actually happening. And then we get into all this other crazy shit like fighting a cult that's been brainwashing other love slaves, finding out that there is this one character called Saki who basically is just a badass character who's trying to find her brother, essentially, and just look dope as shit. She's like a mix between Dia and something else as well. And also every single female character that's named Saki is always a badass. Then you also have a moment in time where you find out the person that kidnapped the sister ends up becoming the brother of like Yuto, which is also weird and strange. And then they give the explanation of why he did it, because his aunt was basically effing him. Weird, but when it comes down to things, that's what happened. And then they started battling, and then Yuto ends up winning, but both of them bang their sister at the same time, which, okay, incest ahoy, I suppose. And then also you find out that, you know, the sister, Akemi, is actually someone that's been whoring themselves quite a lot. She's been effing a lot of guys, honestly, and she's the most powerful love slave of all time, making people at tournaments literally just begging for smashing just by her sheer presence. Makes absolutely no type of sense yet for some weird reason, I am here for it. Unfortunately, there's only 14 chapters that's been translated, but it is what it is. But my point is, you see the craziness of Mizuryu Kei? Do you not see the craziness of this man? He literally took a Yu-Gi-Oh card game and made it into something insane, right? There is no reason for this shit, but he made it insane. That takes some skill. But when it comes down to things, my point is, if you haven't really seen any of this man's work, even animation, then definitely go as far as to, you know, find this guy and to give them a follow, because holy shit, do they deserve a massive raise. Why they got, you know, fired from Hololive or whatever, I don't necessarily know. If it's because of Marine, is it because he wanted to make a dojo in Marine? Let the man cook, I say.
Let him cook! Let him cook now! Let him cook! I said let him cook!
But yeah, that's basically all I really wanted to say, so hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out. Also follow me on the socials, and if you'd like to donate to the channel, Kofi and Cash App is available as well. And until then, it's boy Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.